Hi everybody, Ty Lord here with my December pickups into January. Kind of losing track of all these pickups. I have a lot of Christmas gifts from my family too. A lot of video game and movie pickups. Some cool stuff this month I'll share today. I guess I'll start off with the movies. I'll get to the Christmas gifts later. There's some movies in there too. I haven't seen any of these, or most of them, so I don't have much to say on them yet. Fan of David Carradine and Lee Van Cleef. And I found this movie Armed Response with both of them at Rasputin's. Father and son seek revenge in a violent world of ruthless criminals. Oh, and I see Cary Tagawa is in it. Shang Tsung is in it. And then this guy, I like this guy's movies. They're kind of low budget, but they're really good. He's kind of like Dollar Tree Arnold Schwarzenegger. Alexander Nevsky. I like all of his movies. And David Carradine's in this one as well. Treasure Raiders. This is kind of a low budget action movie. Pretty well done, pretty funny. I like this guy. He's like Russian Arnold Schwarzenegger. He still makes movies now. So I saw that one, and of course Blind Fury. I got to pick that up for 50 cents every time I find it. Great movie with Rutger Hauer. The boxer is one of the villains. Randall Tex Cobb. Then I got this Nick Nolte movie, and I haven't watched it yet. It's a Walter Hill movie, and I'm a big fan of his movies. So I thought I'd get this on VHS. I haven't watched it yet. It's supposed to be a classic. PMM is a big fan of this movie. He's been recommending it, so I gotta watch this. Speaking of PMM, I picked this up. I thought maybe he didn't have it. I don't know why I assumed he didn't have this. He's into the witch movies, and this is one of his favorite witch movies. So I picked that up for $1. The Craft on Laserdisc. And I already have way too many, so if anyone wants this, I don't know if Quesadilla Padilla or anyone else, any of my friends that collect Laserdisc wants this. I'm getting way too many of them. But there's The Craft with all the little witch girls. I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy any more Laserdisc, but then there's something I really like this. I got this at the Laughing Crow Collectibles. Jared brought out all of his Laserdisc. He has them at the store now, or not all of them, but there's quite a few there. I actually completed my Bond Laserdisc collection because of him, but I had to have French Connection on here. William Friedkin's, I think it is his best movie probably, or one of them. He has quite a few good ones, so that says a lot. The French Connection with Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider. Great crime, drama, thriller from the 70s. Probably the best one. My buddy Vince at Dad Level Podcast has been hyping this one up. I'm so glad my wife got it for me for Christmas. I haven't watched it yet though. The Terminator, the Ultra HD 4K. I think it might be remastered. So I can't wait to watch this. This is my favorite Terminator movie. Of course, I love the second one, but this is always my favorite. Okay, here's one I've been looking for my whole life. My mother-in-law got this for me for Christmas. I could never find this movie anywhere, and I didn't even know what it was called. It took me a lot of research to find out what this movie was. When I was a kid, I remember my grandparents and my mom, it was like, I don't know if it was a holiday or everyone was over, we were watching this movie on television. This movie was on television, and I don't know how it ended up on television. I don't know how heavily edited it was back then, but it was on television. I remember I enjoyed it when I was a little kid. I thought it was cool, but I didn't really understand what was going on. All I remember was it was in San Francisco, and it was like a gritty crime drama, and all I remember was Walter Matthau and Bruce Dern were like the two cops that were partners, and they were always yelling at each other, and that's all I remember about it. But after a while, when the internet came out, Internet Movie Database, I finally tracked it down. It's called The Laughing Policeman. But there's no prints of it in the United States. So my mother-in-law found this like Spanish print of it. It's called San Francisco Ciudad Desnuda in Spanish, like San Francisco the Naked City or something over there, but this is The Laughing Policeman, the one I saw on television. And this is a region-free Spanish Blu-ray with English audio, so you can watch this like any old Blu-ray here. Who's the director? Rosenberg, who did quite a few movies back then, a big director. So you would think this would be a big like a classic crime drama everyone's heard of, but it's not. And I think I figured out why. I watched this thing, and it is gory, and it has nudity, and it has like racial stuff and gay stuff in it. But wow, it's a really good movie though. It's a detective, Walter Matthau, looking for the murder of his partner. His murder mysteriously was murdered, and the way he was murdered was grotesque, and there's so much killing in this movie, like massacres. It's a crime drama here, and there's all these cops are looking for this killer. They're following all these leads. Half of them end up going nowhere. A lot of the movie's just dead ends. But Lou Gossett Jr. is one of the cops. He's one of my favorite actors. Bruce Dern, Walter Matthau, Anthony Zerbe is in it too, from Omega Man and License to Kill. It would be unwatchable to see it on television with all the editing they would have to do, but it was on television. But I do remember when I was watching it as a kid, they would say a lot of swear words, and I was surprised how much swearing was on television. But there's other stuff, I don't know how they edited it out. There's a lot of like dead bodies and nudity and yeah, you got to see this movie. It's really good. I don't think it's on the same level as French Connection, but really good, gritty cop crime drama with Walter Matthau. So I'm glad I finally found that. I sort of got for myself, but my wife wrapped it up and gave it to me. I had some bonus credit at work for Amazon, and I've been wanting one of these. The Hyperkin Megatech Evercade Pocket. Really nice thing. I got the Technos edition, so it has all the Double Dragons on here. I've been playing all the Double Dragons. They're wonderful. All kinds of Technos games on here built into it. It's got the L. You can play any place. It would probably be able to play any PlayStation 1 game, anything up to that. It has a lot of indie games, this Evercade system, or re-releases of older games up, like arcade, up to like PlayStation 1 and N64. Not quite sure how you'd play a lot of N64 games on this. I know there are a couple. But anyway, all the Technos games are on here, built into it. This thing takes cartridges, and one of them I got was Legacy of Kain Collection, which has Blood Omen, which I started playing, and Soul Reaver. That's pretty darn cool. I think it might have save states on it too. I didn't try it out yet. Yeah, I started playing some Blood Omen. I think I might need a guide, or go refer to one of Corey's videos, Maine-ly Retro. Yeah, so I got that one. And then another one I've been wanting, Pico Collection for all the Pico interactive games. This one, that's speaking of N64, it has Glover on it. I haven't tried it yet. The reason why I wanted this is it has one of my favorite Genesis games. Shout out to Retro Tiburon for sending me that on Genesis. Zero Tolerance. Just like Zero Tolerance with Robert Patrick, the PM Entertainment action movie. Not the same title, but awesome first-person shooter on Genesis. And I played a few more of these, but that's the main reason I wanted this. Bad Street Brawler's not bad, but anyway, that's happy to have that in my collection. And yeah, so I like this thing a lot so far. Everything I played on it works pretty good. Other than Super Double Dragon, for some reason it drifts up sometimes. I don't know if it's the it might be that I'm getting intense. I'm hitting the game. I might be hitting these buttons on the back, but might be interfering with the inputs. but I'm not sure. I notice sometimes it drifts up on Super Double Dragon, like when I move around, but it might be my fault. But other than that, everything seems to run fine. They look good, sound good. Another thing I wanted to mention, it's the exact same dimensions as a Game Boy Pocket. So I don't know if you have any like Game Boy Pocket cases or anything, it'll fit perfectly in there. It's the exact same dimensions. I know because I've been playing my Game Boy. I guess we'll do some more games from Laughing Crow. Yeah, probably my new favorite place to be. Great atmosphere there, great game selection. I could just spend all day long. It's a tiny place, but I can spend all day long looking around in there, looking at all the stuff they have all crammed into all these shelves and displayed everywhere. Toys, video games, movies, now Laserdisc, old video game manual or strategy guides and magazines, all kinds of stuff. That's repairs. They already repaired a couple of my games, replaced batteries. Great place, great atmosphere, great friendly atmosphere. Like just going in there to hang out. But I always end up buying something or trading in a bunch of trash for those poor guys. But I got some games I've been wanting. They're Rival Turf on Nintendo. The first game in the Rushing Beat series. It's nowhere near as good as Final Fight or Streets of Rage, but I kind of like it. I'm trying to one credit it. It's really tough. It kind of takes a long time to beat it. I really enjoy this game though. If you like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, you'll be able to play this fine. Here's one I've been wanting to play. I haven't played it yet. I hear it's like Zelda 2 or a Battle of Olympus type game, Rambo, and I think it's supposed to follow First Blood Part 2, the movie. So I'm really looking forward to playing that one. One from my childhood, I had to get this one again, Road Blaster. So I might try to play that. I don't know, is this a game you can beat or does it just go on forever? This is a fun game. I used to play it at the arcade and I had the cartridge when I was a kid. Rescue the Embassy Mission. This looks like an embassy, like there's a hostage situation and you're like a SWAT team or a tactical law enforcement team and you're taking out the terrorists in this building. It looks really good. Different styles, like there might be like the Go-Go 13, like first person style part, and then there's a sniping part, and there's like sneaking around on the outside of the building. But I've been wanting to play that. And here's one I do want to get down on this year and finally beat it. I haven't beaten Resident Evil 7 or 8 yet, but so I got to get down on this one. Resident Evil 7. I'll play it on the Xbox. So I'm hyped about Resident Evil 9, but I can't play that without going through 7 and 8. Got a couple PC games. Why? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I got that nice new PC. Darn it, I should have brought that PC out here Wubs gave me. You'll be seeing me do streams and making videos with this wonderful new PC that Wubs sent me. I can edit stuff now. I'm up to date with all the new software. Kind of tough. I don't know if after all these years working with this old software, it's kind of difficult getting used to the new stuff, but it seems like I'm getting the hang of it. Some of the new editing software. Trying to get accustomed to OBS. Shout out to the Last Line for walking me through some of that the other night when I was streaming Resident Evil. I know he knows all about that. He's been streaming stuff for years and recording, capturing video game footage and everything. But what else we got? Yeah, but that wonderful new computer. I should just make a video solely on that and show you that new computer that Wub sent me. I can do editing on my James Bond stuff, the series Wubs and I do. I can. I'm gonna do my Games Beat in 2024 video with that software. So it might not be as intricate as I usually do, but because I'm kind of getting used to the effects and all that. But gonna use that new computer for my Games Beat in 2024 video. A lot of good recommendations on there. Anyway, so I got some PC games. Finally getting to it. King's Quest, Mark of Eternal. Oh, Mark of Eternity. It had the price tag on it, and it doesn't have a key code on it, so I don't know if I can play it or not. It's Sierra Studios, so I was kind of interested in that. I don't know if it's an RPG or a point and click. Isn't King's Quest more like a point and click series? Anyway. And then I thought I couldn't pass these up on these. Diablo 2. Because I can play this on the PC now. I got so much other stuff to play, but 50 cents. And I see that has the code right there. So there's a copy of Diablo 2. That's a lot of people's favorite. Here's another Sierra game, a Relic game. Homeworld, is that supposed to be good? Game of the Year PC Gamer, must be pretty good. Okay, and then on to the console games. I didn't have this one, but here's a loose copy of it. Yeah, it looks like it's in great condition. Driver for $2. Here's one I just got. This one of the few wrestling games I didn't have on PlayStation 1. WCW versus the World. This is THQ. And I don't remember this being good or not, if it's as good as World Tour on NES. I don't think it is, but I know it has a great roster. WCW World Tour. I'm glad I have that on PlayStation now. That was $2. Here's one that Wubs just sent me, but I found a loose copy of it, so I'll probably give this away or trade it into Laughing Crow. Medieval for $4. That was a good deal. I gotta play this still. Wubs sent me a nice copy of this. Okay, here's one for MrMatthews, a Game Boy game, Quest for Camelot. I didn't realize it's a Game Boy Color game. I put it in my Game Boy Pocket and it plays. But apparently it's a Game Boy Color game, so you could play it in color on your Game Boy Color. Quest for Camelot. Don't know much about it, although it looks really good. From what I saw when I popped in, I popped it in the Game Boy. It almost looks like an RPG or a Zelda type thing, like overhead, little medieval fantasy adventure. I know it's based on a Disney movie, but I'm not really familiar with it. But for $2, I thought that was okay. Arkham City. I know I had this on PS3, but I didn't know if I had it on Xbox 360. I'm gonna try to get down on these. I think Wub sent me the third or fourth one. But I gotta play through Arkham Asylum first, and then this one. I know I'm gonna like them, but I've just never put any time into them. Here's a guilty pleasure of mine. I already have this game. I think I found a home for it though. The Bouncer for $2 loose. I thought that was pretty good. I like this game. It's a beat 'em up that's trying to it looks kind of like Final Fantasy's like type setting, but it's a beat 'em up. It's not really an RPG. I was hoping it would be an RPG, but it's more just like a beat 'em up. But you can keep playing through the game and getting stronger and stronger and leveling up your guys and getting new moves and keep playing through the game. I think you have to play through it like 3 times before you actually beat it. The last boss gets tougher every time you beat it. I think you fight him 3 phases to the final time you beat him. Yeah, Squaresoft. So it looks like Final Fantasy. If you saw like screenshots or videos of it, you'd think it was a Final Fantasy game, but it's a beat 'em up. Here's a TV series the whole family like. My wife loves this, my girls love this, I like it. It's already getting kind of old. It feels new to me, but it's old. Cartoon series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great Nickelodeon cartoon. I don't know much about this game, but it was $1, so thought I'd try that. Here's a shout out to Vince at Dad Level Podcast, one of his favorite games. And I was telling him I just can't get into this. Like, I always lose. I don't know how to play it. I've beaten quite a few RPGs, but I just get stuck on this one. Knights of the Old Republic. I have this. So this is an extra copy. I just couldn't pass it up for $4. It's got the manual in here, big hefty manual. So I got to get down on that. Maybe I should just put it on easy. Speaking of a game I already had, but I got to pick it up every time. I just love this game so much. $4 for Oblivion. And it has the map. I love this map so much. My wife and I used to play this game so much. Oblivion. I didn't have this one, Keanu Reeves the game. That $4. I didn't have it. I usually collect for Xbox, so I got that one. And then I guess we'll end off with a shout out to DGC. This is one of his favorite games. My brother and I used to play it quite a bit, Brute Force. I think I'm gonna keep this copy. My copy is kind of beat up that I had. This is a nice clean Platinum Hits copy of Brute Force. 4-player co-op campaign. Sort of reminds me of Halo. This was a Microsoft exclusive game on Xbox back then. Yeah, you had 4 different little characters you could play as. They all had unique skills. That is a cool little game. Brute Force. And that's about it.